The time is now 7 p.m., Monday, May the 8th. I call this meeting to order. I declare we have a forum, and Ms. Diazis will lead us in the pledges, and Mr. Director in the invocation. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Let us pray. My Heavenly Father, we thank you for your continued blessings upon this district as we come to the end of this year. We pray for our senior class as they prepare to graduate at the end of this month. We pray you will bless them to make the right decision as they enter the next stage of their young lives. We thank you for our staff who have given our students the tools they need to advance to the next level of their education. We pray for guidance as we begin our meeting this evening, for knowledge and understanding. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. Diazis and Mr. Butler. Mr. Director. Oh, that's him. I did.
Mr. Butler, big difference.
Okay, do we have anybody sign up, Blaze? Not good. Next item is district recognition. First is Panther Employees of the Month for May of 2023. Mrs. Cook.
Yes. Do you have someone helping?
One assistant.
Let them take their places. Welcome, everyone. It is so good to see such a great crowd on a busy spring afternoon. We know there's lots going on, lots of places you could be, but thank you for choosing to be here with us this evening. This is our very favorite part of our meeting, is when we get to recognize our students and our employees that have been excelling. This will be our last one for this year, so we're excited that you're here with us this evening. So let's get started.
Ms. Butler from the board will represent the board, giving out the awards.
Yes,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Butler will be handing out the awards. So when you have your name called, if you will come over to our photo op area, and you will be presented with your award. And parents, spouses, grandparents, whomever, if you wish to take pictures or so forth, please feel free to get up and do so. All right, so we're going to begin first with Tinsley Terry. Come on up. Tinsley is a second grade student at Falk Elementary. Tinsley is a fabulous role model for her peers. She never shies away from participating in class or helping a friend. Being polite is just who she is and how she treats others. Tinsley always goes the extra mile when completing her work to make sure it is done to the best of her ability. We are so proud to have Tinsley as our Panther of the Month. Congratulations. It's always tough to be the first one, but you pulled it off, girl. Next, we have Frankie Baruta. I think I said that wrong. Baruta, right? I even gave myself phonetic spelling here, and I still said it wrong. Sorry, Frankie. He is a 5th grade student at Charlie Marshall Elementary. Frankie is happy to be in class and is ready to lend a hand to students in need of help. It is instilled in him to be respectful to his peers. Frankie gives 100% of himself, whether it is doing math problems in Miss Reyes's class or playing basketball out on the court. We are so proud to have Frankie as our Panther of the Month. Congratulations. It's good to know you like basketball. You got some height there. We see, Coach, you see, here they're coming up. Next, we have Imani Pierre. Imani is an outstanding 6th grade student who is helpful when working with others. She is very well respected by her classmates and teachers and is a role model in her class. AC Blunt Middle School is proud to call her Panther of the Month. Congratulations. Next, we have Allie Tabler. Allie is one of our seniors at Aransas Pass High School. She is an excellent student who has a great can-do attitude. She spent a good part of her summer working with children and taking a required college-level class as part of her internship program. This school year, Allie is at Falk Elementary in the mornings, gaining experience in becoming a teacher. She is a talented and smart young lady, a joy to be around, and will undoubtedly make an excellent teacher, hopefully here at Aransas Pass ISD. Congratulations. Next, we would like to recognize our employees of the month for May. First, we have Rachel Klickenborg. Are you here this evening? Oh, she's not here? Well, let me tell you about it. Go ahead and give her a hand. Yes. Let me tell you about her and why she was chosen. She is known by our students at Falk Elementary as Miss K. She has been chosen as our Employee of the Month for her hard work and dedication to the students. Rachel has volunteered and worked at Falk Elementary for the past 6 years. She is our most lively morning greeter with upbeat music and surprises students with costumes from time to time. She loves working with our students in the computer lab. We are so proud that she enrolled in college to complete her teaching certification. Thank you, Rachel. Next, Tammy Eblin. Tammy is a third grade teacher at Charlie Marshall Elementary. She is passionate about motivating her students to not only achieve success academically, but also socially, emotionally, and mentally. She is a true advocate for her students, demonstrating commitment by going above and beyond to ensure their progress and growth. Her love for her job and her children shows each day. We are so proud to have Tammy as our Employee of the Month. Congratulations. Next, Tracy Morales. Tracy is the school nurse at AC Blunt Middle School. Miss Morales often goes out of her way to develop a rapport with our students and has brought together a group of students for morning walks before school starts. I need to join that. She is diligent in her job duties, but also plays a large role in the lives of many of our students who may have limited adult role models with which to interact. Tracy is a perfect choice for Employee of the Month. Congratulations. Lisa Smith, come on down. Lisa Smith is the RTI clerk at Aransas Pass High School. Miss Smith has a good attitude and is always willing to help. She is eager to tackle any area of need, including helping an ISS this semester, and has done a wonderful job. Thank you, Miss Smith. Our District Administration Employee of the Month for May is Miss Sally McCutcheon. Come on, Sally. Oh. She didn't know. I wasn't here today to go. I normally tell them before, so she's totally surprised. Sally has served, get this, APISD for 44 years. She has implemented the highest level of healthcare systems and processes found in our entire region, if not our entire state. She has led us through the pandemic with wisdom and professionalism. She has overseen many different areas of need within our district over the years and has always been willing to do whatever it takes. She is a true AP Panther, and her service is appreciated. We wish her the best in her next endeavors as she retires, but her legacy will live on. Congratulations. And next we have Cindy Uribe. Did you make it tonight? Cindy not here? Well, let me tell you about her. She is a custodian at our Falk Elementary campus, and she has been with APISD for 12 years this December. We appreciate her hard work and dedication, and we want to personally thank her for her great performance and valuable addition to the Falk custodial staff. Congratulations. Those are our Panthers and Employees of the Month. Again, congratulations to every one of you. Let's give another round of applause.
And for just a moment for Sally, just want to pass the board's appreciation for your dedication to this district for those 44 years. Because, you've been here as long as I've been here. You've probably been longer than anybody on this board. So but we do appreciate your service and dedication you provided for this district, and we're going to miss you. So just let you know. Thank you.
I think it'd be appropriate if we just stand and give her another round of applause. Thank you, Sally.
Okay, next is the Fox Shake to Success winner, Jasmine Shelf.
Yes, I would like to ask Ms. Ogusova, the Falk Elementary principal, to come up and share with you what this is all about. We're so excited, and who our first-time winner for the Falk Shake is.
So our Fox Shake for Success.
You want to bring her up? There she is.
Come on up here, babe. Come on. So it was kind of a spinoff of Ron Clark's Amazing Shake. So that's a national competition. So back in August, I challenged all of our teachers to go ahead as part of our SEL component, social emotional learning, to do a greeting at the door. So on our doors, we have like high five, handshake, a dance, or a hug. And so they slap it each morning, and their teacher greets them the way they want to be greeted. So for the last 6 weeks, we changed that to it was a straight up normal handshake, just to practice a good firm greeting, also for them to practice presentation, speaking, and so on. So the teachers each chose one winner from their class. Then I had a group of board members and upper admin come in, and they chose a person from each grade level. And then I had community members come in, and they chose our final winner. So Jasmine was our overall winner. It was actually, there was a tie. And let me tell you what broke it for this girl. Not only her splendid personality, but when we opened the door and I was calling her to come with me and walk, the judges heard her tell her second grade competitor, good luck. Oh. And so that's why Jasmine won. Great job,
She does. She does. She does do the eye contact. It is a good handshake.
Don't forget that good eye contact.
She did. Yeah, she did. Congratulations.
She was right on.
Good job.
Good job.
She got that down pat.
It does. It's firm.
Next is track and field state qualifier, Lexi Liao. And Coach Guerrero is going to give the presentation.
Tell us all about our state.
This is on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Alexia Liao. She's a senior. So in lane 8 from Aransas Pass, senior Alexia Liao. She qualified for the 100-meter hurdles for the state track meet. She had a fabulous regional meet. She also got third in high jump, and she got third in the 300-meter hurdles. She is the school record holder for the 100-meter hurdles and the 300-meter hurdles, as well as part of the mile relay team that broke the school record last year. So she's got quite a track record behind her. Anyway, so she'll be competing this Thursday at 5:45 p.m. at the University of Texas in Austin in the 100-meter hurdle. So 5:45. You can keep up with it online, NFHS. You can live stream it. So there's all sorts of opportunity. Miss Alexia Liao.
Congratulations.
Lexi. Back up here.
I'm trying to hit anybody with my chair. This is a special occasion, so we're all coming out.
Yeah, y'all get in there for a good picture. That's good. All right, good luck.
And Lexi, what day is your departure from here? It's on our schedule, but what day when are you leaving? When are you going to Austin? What? 1:30 from the high school. So if you're available, come and send her off for just give her a good send off. So next we have something that's not on the agenda, but we have one of our board members that's going to retire from the board. Decided not to run again, but she dedicated 19 years to this. To this 19, is that what it was? 11. Okay. 11 years to the school district, and she's been kind of a staple here and very supportive of the district. And before her husband was here on the board, so they just kind of kept it going. So we do appreciate her. We got a little plaque we're going to present
And I
you.
just said I didn't want to go up there and give the kids their certificates because I don't like that kind of attention. And they're doing it. So.
She's coming to you. Okay. Slide down.
You're in the middle.
So you're not by yourself.
Yeah, I know, but.
Come on.
Thank you, Bill. I need to share it over here. Let's move this chair over.
Well, I feel impelled now to say something. I honestly, citizens, administration, and care, Ms. Cook, it's been an honor. It's been a challenge. It's been an honor. This is not always easy, but it's definitely for the right reasons. If any of you have interest in doing something like this, please put yourself out there and take a chance. Otherwise, just volunteer, because everyone knows there's a lot of places that you can get out there and help. With this, we've had 5 years of, I think, pure hell between Harvey and the COVID, and we've all mustered through this. Every one of us have different personalities, different job professions, different needs outside of this, and we come together and make decisions for 1,700 students and parents and teachers, and it makes a big, big difference. There's a big chance, a choice fixing to be made with Ms. Cook resigning, retiring, and the number one thing this board has to do is pick another superintendent, and that affects us as citizens throughout, not just the school district. So she has made herself known. I don't think there's a leadership organization in this town that doesn't know who she is, and she's only been here a very short time. She represents everyone for APISD, so that position is important, and that's the main thing this board does is pick your superintendent for you. So that's challenges coming in the next 6 months. We do have an interim that's stepping up and going to take over Mr. Bennett, and that's big shoes to fill. But I challenge y'all all to get involved and stay involved. And I just truly feel this is a privilege. As you can tell, I do not like public speaking. I have an opinion. They can all tell you it gets heard in the board, and behind doors. I do have an opinion. I support children and students, teachers. I've been a school nurse for a short time, and it was crazy. My eyes opened, and you should never complain about a teacher. It's just amazing what y'all do. So, and the challenges that you seek every day. And I think we need to support them as administrations and snuff the small stuff so it doesn't become a big thing. So please support them. And God bless y'all all. And again, I'm sincerely privileged to have sat here for as long as I have and go through the process. It's an honor. Okay, so thank you all. Awesome.
Again, the board just wants to express the dedication and that Adele has to not only to this board, but this district and our students. Yeah, and that's our foremost thing, is looking out for our teachers and our students. So, and that's kind of the objective of the board right now, and that's what we want to do is everything we do is for the best for our staff and our students. So that's kind of our goal, and that's kind of our vision for the future. So, but I just want to express thank you, Adele, for all your service. That you all the hours you spent and all the things you've done, so we appreciate it.
I just want to say I've served with the husband and the wife. It's a pleasure for me for the 11 years served on the board.
Thank you.
You're gonna be.
I'm stepping down for I don't want to be 20, 30 years into this. I've stepped down. Y'all voted on my predecessor that's going to be here next month, and you're in good hands. So I just did my time, and I needed to step down for different reasons. It can be very challenging and demanding at times, so time consuming also. So, y'all, again, good luck to everyone, and God bless y'all. Okay. Thank you.
Well, Ms. Diasis, you are stepping down, but I just wanted to say and acknowledge that you stepped up in many ways over the years.
Thank you.
And thank you for your love and support of not only the district, but this community.
Yeah, I'm not
And
going anywhere.
Yeah,
I'll keep
yeah.
volunteering.
So she's still here. And so just blessings upon you for the next stage that you have.
Thank you very much.
I'm not going to say much because I don't want to cry. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, do we want to let people go? Or we wanna
They
go?
might want to hear this part. I think they'd be interested, then maybe let them go
Okay.
after this one.
So again, we got one more present before we release everybody if you need to go. We got Coach Taylor is going to give the Rams Pass Athletic presentation again. This is kind of celebrating what our district did this year in all of our different sports, so the junior high and the high school, all the competitions, all the awards, all of the things they've done. And and again, it's a feather in our hat because if you look at our athletic program, the students here did a lot this year, a whole lot. There's a lot of high achievements, a lot of goals they set, a lot of things, that they set for themselves to do, and they strive to make it happen. And we're proud of all of our students here and all the accomplishments they had. Coach Taylor.
All right, thank you. The first, can I take this off?
You just do what you want to do. You can sing, dance.
The first group that I would like to give some praise to is our grounds crew. Luis and Arnold, they work tirelessly. And our maintenance crew, hands and knees. I know Coach Seidel touched on that at our sports banquet the other night. But just to have our fields ready and prepared, they do a phenomenal job. We hosted a playoff series this weekend, and every single fan that was there from Rivera and Refugio complimented us on our facilities and said they're some of the top-notch, best facilities in all of South Texas. So I take pride in that. I know our grounds crew takes pride in that. And so I just wanted to give them a shout-out and let y'all know that they're really doing a great, great job for our athletic facility. All right, so this first slide is kind of a overall snapshot of the growth. I know it's difficult for you guys to see it probably in the audience, but one thing that we're blessed with here in Aransas Pass is a pre-athletics. A lot of schools, a lot of school districts do not have pre-athletics. And so Coach Chelsea Smith and Coach Marvin Zinsmeyer, they are in that pre-athletics every single day. And Coach Jake Flores prepares those fifth graders to transition into the sixth grade. And so we vertically aligned our athletic program. Coach Flores, some of the stuff he's doing with the fifth graders, the sixth graders, are basically being introduced to the exact same stuff that we're doing at the high school, whether it's the weight room, whether it's conditioning, whether it's preparing for each sport. And so those two do a great, great job. And you can kind of see the growth from 2021. We had 75 total pre-athletic athletes, which is 61% of the total enrollment of the 6th grade. In the 7th and 8th grade, we had 147 athletes at the junior high. Now, this was 21-22. Okay, the total enrollment then was 257, I believe. I had to go back and try to find some of the enrollment figures from last year. But that's 57% of the entire population was in athletics. That was last year. And this year we started to see a lot of the growth, some of the fruit of the labor, so to speak. 70% of the total enrollment is in pre-athletics. We have 92 kids in pre-athletics. Out of 133 in their class, 92 of them are in pre-athletics. With the 7th and 8th grade boys and girls, there's 185 kids. There was 185 kids in athletics this year. That's 74% of the 249 kids that are enrolled in the 7th and 8th grade. That's 74% of the student body is in athletics. And that goes back to the groundwork that's been laid with our 5th grade at Charlie Marshall into the pre-athletics at AC Blunt. And so I would like to thank you three, and I know there's others involved, but y'all are here tonight, so I'd like to thank you for vertically aligning our athletic program so that by the time our kids get to the high school, they know exactly how to do and what's expected of them. Now, as far as the high school numbers go, year number one, we had 59 boys in athletics. I say year number one. This was in a 5-year plan. 21-22 was the first year of that 5-year plan. There was 116 athletes enrolled in athletics. That's 24% of the student body, which at last year was 470. This year, counting the first class of the 5-year plan, which are freshmen, okay, they were in the 8th grade when we started this plan. Okay, we have 70 boys in athletics right now and 64 girls for a total of 134 athletes. We have 450 enrolled in the high school. That's 30% of the student population right now is involved in athletics. And if you look closely, there's 30 freshmen and 30 freshman girls and 34 freshman boys, which is our first class. Right? We really focused on them as 8th graders. That's our first class to get into the high school. And that's 48% of the total enrollment in athletics is that first class. And obviously looking at the numbers next year, Lord willing, we don't have kids move away because that tends to happen. But we should gain 50 boys and 32 girls. So that's 82 more kids enrolled in athletics at the high school. So our junior high staff is doing a really good job of vertically aligning and preparing our kids for high school. Okay, the first sport I'm going to talk about is cross country, and Coach Blake Wilson is here. He's the head cross country coach. He worked with both the high school and the junior high cross country teams. And we are the only school in the entire district to get our boys and girls cross-country teams out to regionals. And we also won the district title in the 7th grade. We had, yeah, let's give them a round of applause. That was a really good job. I want to take a step back to just so y'all know, we had 8, counting from 7th grade to the high school, we had 8 district titles. We had 5 district runner-ups. We had 7 third-place finishers. So if all of those competitors and all those teams were at the high school, we would have had 20 teams make the playoffs. And that's what we're trying to build for at the junior high is even though they finished 3rd, or they finished 4th, we're teaching those young men and women that they're in the playoffs. And so we're trying to generate and create a winner's mindset. Even if it's a 4th place finish, you're in the playoffs. And anything can happen when you get into the playoffs. And this is a really good fact right here too. We're still waiting on baseball, softball, golf, and track to get their academic all-state awards in. But counting those that have gotten in, we have 12 academic all-state athletes, and that's for seniors only.
Wow.
That's senior. That's seniors only. If we included freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, we'd have a whole bunch more. But academic all-state is only for the seniors. Back to cross country. So boys and girls qualified for regionals. Both of them did. The girls were district runner-up, and the boys finished third place. We had academic all-state. Like I said a while ago, only school in the district to get both teams out. Junior high district champs, 7th grade, we had top 10 finishers and top 20 finishers this year. So great job, Coach Wilson, getting these kids out to run. The second slide will be football. This year we broke a 14-game losing streak. We increased our point total. We doubled our point total per game, and we gave up 100 points less than we did the year before. We had a Ford Built Tough Player of the Week, a Caller Times Player of the Week, a Caller Times Student Athlete of the Week. We had all district and all South Texas football players. We had 2 of those. And it was the first time since 2017 and Matthew Butler. It's the first time that we've gotten all South Texas football players, and we had 2 of them. We had a Whataburger Super Team finalist, and we had an academic all-state. And one of the things with the Ford Built Tough, obviously our school gets a really nice trophy, as you can see, but Georgia Costa got to take a tour of the Dallas Cowboys facilities, and so that was something that a lot of people don't get to go behind the scenes and see their facilities. They paid for everything. He had a banquet, a meal. They paid for the hotel. They paid for everything. And so that was a great experience that he'll always remember. The next sport is volleyball, and we have Coach Henneke here, who's our head volleyball coach. And to be honest, most of y'all in this room know Coach Seidel and the legacy she left with volleyball program. So when we hired Coach Henneke, she had some big shoes to fill, and she knew that in the interview, but she did a great job. She got our team to the district, or to the playoffs. We finished 2nd in our district. She had all district, all South Texas, 3 first team and second team. We had 2 members selected to the Coastal Bend Coaches Association All-Star team, and she had 2 academic all-state athletes on her team, and she's done a great job continuing to keep that program going. And we look forward to her continuing to build it, and who knows, maybe get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playoff wins. That's the goal ultimately. The next sport is going to be girls basketball, and I'm skipping around here. Volleyball. Well, let's go back to football in 7th and 8th grade. 7th grade was 3rd place. And 8th grade was 3rd place. So both those teams would have qualified for the playoffs. In the tough district with the Ednas and the Industrials, the Palacioses, both those teams would have qualified for the playoffs. The 7th grade girls volleyball team was a combined 15-2. And the 8th grade girls volleyball team was a combined 14-13. We had a 2nd place finish in the AP tournament and a 3rd place finish in the AP tournament. And since we're talking about girls basketball, 7th grade finished 15-5. And the 8th grade finished 12-8. High school, we were the district champions, we were the by-district champions, we were the area champions, we were the quarterfinal champions, and a regional tournament qualifier. We had the district MVPs, we had multiple all-district, multiple all-South Texas, multiple all-region, and multiple all-state. We had Caller Times Player of the Week, and we had 2, our CBCA, which is the Coastal Bend Coach Association All-Star Team. We had members of that. And we had 2 academic all-state athletes. Boys basketball, we were district champs, by-district champs, area champs, regional quarterfinalists. We had the MVPs of the district. And Coach Hayes is here, by the way, who's our head boys basketball coach. We had co-MVPs. We had all district, all South Texas, all region teams. We had Coastal Bend Coach Association all-star team selections and 3 academic all-staters. Junior high, 7th grade, finished district runner-up, 9-5 record, so they would have qualified for the playoffs. And our 8th grade was 16-0 and district champions in the 8th grade. So Coach Hayes has done a tremendous job of keeping that program going. And with our freshman class coming in, the future's bright. You'll see a different brand of basketball than you've seen, just because of who he has, and obviously his ability to be able to adapt to what type of players he has. So you're probably going to see, and I may be speaking out of turn, Coach Hayes, but you're probably going to see a little bit more run and gun up and down the floor a little bit, even though that's kind of what we've done. I think you're going to see more of it down the line. Powerlifting, we have Coach Guerrero here for powerlifting. We had 5 girls qualify for the regional powerlifting meet, 3 boys qualify for the regional powerlifting meet, 15-ish PRs broken throughout the powerlifting season. We had 22 athletes compete in powerlifting this year. So there was a few areas that I really wanted to improve on numbers-wise, and that's obviously football, because we need the numbers playing against some of the teams that we're playing. The other was powerlifting, because there wasn't a bunch of kids participating in powerlifting, and the other one was track. And Coach Guerrero's done a great job of getting these kids to buy into his vision, and I look forward to great things. A lot of his powerlifters are young and are coming back. I think 1 senior boy and 1 senior girl, I believe. And so the future's bright in powerlifting. Golf, the boys finished 4th at the district tournament. We finished in the top 5 in every tournament. I think Coach said at the sports banquet the other day, we were losing 2 golfers. So he's got his whole team. And this year was a little bit difficult coaching golf-wise, because they went to the 3rd round of the playoffs. Well, Coach Z was able to work with a lot of those golfers while Coach Hayes was still coaching basketball. And unfortunately, basketball and golf, they overlap. And so having coaches on staff step up is a big help as well. And so being able to build off of their success this year. This is one that I take a lot of pride in. Prior to Aransas Pass, I spent almost all of my 16 years at the time, since I've been here 2 years. 16 years of my time was coaching track. I'm a big track guy, and that first track meet that I came to when I got here, there was like 12 kids running track maybe, and I was just like, whoa, we've got to get that fixed and going. And so this year we took 62 kids, competed in the district track meet. So I don't believe it's on this slide. It may be on the next slide. There it is right there. That's the high school. That's how many kids we took to the high school track meet right there in the middle. And so that's something that obviously we really wanted to continue to build. We had 3 district champions, 5 district runner-ups, 5 third-place finishers. This was at district competition. 15 athletes qualified for the area track meet. We had 3 relay teams qualify for the area track meet. We had 2 area champions and 2 area runner-ups. We had 9 athletes qualify for regionals. Obviously, we have a state qualifier in Lexi Leal, and that's the 2nd year in a row we've had state qualifiers. Unfortunately, one of those athletes is no longer in our district, but that Lexi makes 2 in a row, so we're going to, no pressure, Coach Guerrero. We got to keep that streak going. Obviously, Coach Guerrero touched on this, but we have a school record holder multiple times, broken her record, I think, maybe 5 times throughout the last couple of years. And here's one that's unique for Lexi, is this was the first year of the Coastal Bend Coaches Association Meet of Champions. And she is now the record holder for that. So from this point forward, everybody's going to come after Lexi to break the meet record that hopefully you hold for a long while, girl, because representing AP like that, that's phenomenal. Junior high track. We were the district champions in the boys division, 7th grade boys. We were 3rd place in the 8th grade boys. We were district runner-up in the 7th grade girls, and we were 3rd place with the 8th grade girls. And one other thing, Lexi did qualify for the Texas Relays, which is one of the most prestigious track meets in all of the country. And that's going to prepare her for next Thursday, just understanding the big stage. And so I look forward to her competing. These are slides of all the kids that medaled at the district track meet and the area track meet. You can just go through that, Ms. Blaze. We almost didn't have enough room. I actually had to put Lexi's regional track picture there on the bottom right because I was running out of room for all the success that our athletes had this year. All right, the next one is tennis. Coach Seidel took over the tennis program and got it back to where it needed to be. We had athletes that placed in the Roger Hill Memorial Tournament, also the Refugio Tournament. We were the individual champion at the first AP Invitational tennis tournament. We had a regional qualifier in Faith Vasquez. We had the regional alternates and the varsity boys doubles and varsity girls, boys mixed doubles. How would you do mixed doubles? Let's see, we had 3 academic all-state. And so one thing that Coach Seidel did that was kind of behind the scenes too was she knew there wasn't very many tennis players playing. So she basically went and recruited her entire team. And she put a bunch of, like she said at the sports banquet, she did, I don't know how she did it, but she had 2 couples that played together. 3 couples, that played together. Then had a big brother, little brother combination, which was very interesting. And so she held them all together, and she did a great job with that. The next up is softball. Coach Flores is here. Now, we haven't officially figured this. Oh, sorry, I missed junior high tennis. Thank you, Blaze. Junior high tennis, we had the 7th grade, we had a district champion and a 3rd place finisher. In the 8th grade, we had a district runner-up and a 3rd place finisher and a 4th place finisher. Coach Wilson coached the junior high tennis and did a great job with those guys as well, having morning practices and getting those kids up here to commit to morning practices is sometimes difficult. And so he did a great job with that. All right, almost done, guys. But as you see, we had a lot of success. Softball, so we still haven't determined yet if this is the first time ever or the first time since 2003 to be the district champions. And so regardless, it's been 20 years plus since we've had a district championship. We had the most wins in school history with 22. We were by-district playoffs. We had preseason All-South Texas. We had all-district performers. We had district MVP. And it hasn't been voted on, but I'm willing to bet that we're going to have a couple of All-South Texas softball players as well. We won the Port A tournament. We were runner-up at the Kennedy tournament. We had the most strikeouts and lowest ERA in school history. And so one thing that's unique about the softball and baseball programs is Coach Flores gets to work with the junior high kids as well. So he's able to lay the foundation for the softball program from the 7th grade up. And he got to work with those athletes every single day. The seventh graders were district champions. They won the district in softball, and the eighth graders were third place in district. So both those teams would have qualified for the playoffs. The last one is baseball. We finished fourth in the Three Rivers tournament, which is the best finish in 3 years at that particular tournament. We had 2 all-tournament players. We have an athlete that was in the top 25, or 2 athletes, I guess, in the top 25 in the state in stolen bases. That's all classifications. 2 athletes in the top 10 in stolen bases in Region 4 and top 15 in all of 3A. And this is probably one of my favorite pictures. I don't know, I think it may be on the next slide, but the 7th grade boys, there you go on the bottom left, they won the district title in baseball, and they couldn't get the water jug on Coach Ware, so they took a bunch of just Gatorade bottles and doused him, gave him a Gatorade bath after they won the district championship in the 7th grade. And the 8th graders finished 3rd. And again, Coach Lisco gets to work with those guys from the 7th grade up. And so our 7th grade boys baseball team, to go along with the girls softball, there's a lot of good athletes in those classes. And so the future is bright. We're just going to keep building. The wise man said, if you build your house on solid rock, it'll stand. And we've started to build our house on the solid rock from the ground up with our 6th graders all the way up to junior high to the high school. So I appreciate your time. Thank you guys for listening. I get long-winded, but we had a lot of success, and our kids deserve it. And so again, thank you very much for y'all's time.
And I want to express my gratitude to the coaches, because you don't realize I got a son that's been coaching for 22 years in high school, and he started junior high and worked to high school. Yeah, you don't understand the number of hours those coaches put in well after, the practice, getting ready for the next practice, and getting ready for those games, and the things you have to do prior to the games and after the games. They get a stipend for it, but you look at the hourly wages they're doing for that time period, it doesn't amount to a lot of money. But we appreciate the dedication our coaches have and the hours they put in. We appreciate that because you're doing it for our kids in our district, and we appreciate your efforts. So,
those two videos. Can I show the one of the 7th graders just going crazy on the bus?
Let's see if she can get back to
If you can, I'm sorry. No, okay. Well, the 7th graders won the district track meet, and when Coach Kozart came onto the bus and showed them the district trophy, the bus just erupted in cheer, and so that was in there. So if y'all get a chance to watch that, you can really hear and see how excited those kids were.
And we want to thank our parents and our students who are staying afterward, because again, we thought, we're celebrating our students' success, and our athletics is part of our students' success, even though we give awards for other things and that. But we think it's important for our parents and our members of our district to understand the things that are going on in our district and the good things we got going. But we do thank you for hanging in there with us. We do appreciate the time. And at this time, if you want to leave, you're more than welcome to leave, or you can stay for the rest of the board meeting. But this time we'll give you a moment to pack up and leave if you want to go.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. There we go.
What's good about me? It started, don't want to shut up, does it? It's all right.
Yawn. Love you. Cold.
Okay. Okay, next is Student Health Advisory Council, Ms. McCutcheon. Are you going to present something to us, or? Yeah, the board had a package, kind of get the board report, it had the minutes of the meetings and stuff and that, so.
Tell them about, just for record, what SHAC is and all that real quick.
Well, the School Health Advisory Council is a council to the board. So we all have things that we need to review and get a overall community input. That's what our job is, to help you give our impression or what we feel is better for our students, is it's our opinion type thing. Yeah. So we're actually your committee.
So it's mainly made up, not nurses, it's made up for parents, right? Most of the committee's made
It's
up for parents?
like when we, one of the biggest things we did way back then was when we did the Great Body Shop, and we brought speakers in, so everybody, and back then when we first started the Shack, we had like 25 members or more throughout the community. We had speakers in, and then we presented a program to the board that this is what we felt that as a community and school people would be good for our students. Then it was approved. We will be looking at different things, and so that's kind of what we do. We haven't been very successful after some things happened way back then. And we've tried to regroup several times, but parents need to understand that we're here for the students, and it's for their cause that we're here. And so for several sessions, we got parents on with an agenda, but when they came in and we had to educate them what the laws were, and that's how we have to operate, because everybody has the laws in their departments of what we can do and cannot do, then they lost interest. So it's been really hard to regroup this. So we did it again, and we had members that were just, I could tell by talking to them that they really were interested and wanted to do it. And then we started having the meetings, and we only had like 2 parents show up, and then 3 parents show up. So now we're looking at surveying that maybe the time frame to see if we can figure out why they're not coming. So that's where we are right now. But we tried to get our four meetings in, because by law you're supposed to, but it's been a real hard challenge to get the Shack back on target.
Any questions, comments?
Is there anything that we can do to help educate the parents and try to get more participation for you guys?
There's a form that they used, and we're doing the form, taking my name off of it. And it has a little bit of information, and it has a little bit of a survey, like what days and what time is best for you at the bottom. And we were just, there were so many things going on this year when we tried to regroup this, and so we had sent this out school-wide before, when we got the parents that had agendas. So, but, if we can educate them, we'll keep them, but they didn't want to stay once we educated them, because we weren't going to meet the reason they were there. But hopefully when that goes out, and the people that have come to the meeting are very interested, and they wanted the form and they wanted to redo it, and I said, I think Mr. Bennett has that form. We don't have to redo it. We just need to take my name off of it. So that's what we're doing, and they're going to take some of those this summer and try to, I just said, make sure there are people who want to work for the kids and to help the district. So we'll see, maybe we'll generate some more for next year.
Is there some minimum requirement of the number of people that need to be on the Shack?
You have to have 5, but to get a well-rounded committee, you need like community members, like a club member. They said grandparents, the police, the church, the clergy. We need a coach. We need a teacher, to reflect their views, to represent. So, we had a lot of people like that when we had it before, but by law, you only have to have 5.
Well, I know it kind of died out after, for COVID, when COVID hit, we kind of, all that kind of stuff, and we were just trying to get it back where it should be. So building it back up again, it takes a
I
while.
think it's been a good start. She's worked
Right.
really hard on it, and I think we have a good foundation now. And so I think this next year, they'll be able to.
Those parents that I had visit, the principals all gave us 2 or 3 names of people that they thought would be good Shack members. And so I visited with all of them on the phone, and they were all real excited about going, but then they haven't come to the meetings. So there's something, we're not meeting right there. So we're thinking it must be the time. So we're gonna try to find that out to see if we can do it in the evening or 5:30, and we've been doing them at 4.
But, because you got parents that are working all day,
Right,
and
yeah.
they can't get off work, so,
Right.
they need to come in the evening sometime, so,
Right. So I think if we send it out school-wide like they did several years ago, and see if we can get some members that way everybody has the opportunity to check it out and see if they would like to be a part of it.
Oh.
So,
Any other questions, comments?
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you, Sally.
You.
Next, superintendent report.
Okay, first up is the enrollment report. We're holding steady. We're at this for this report that ended on 5/4, 1,713. Our attendance rate is looking better, 94.19%. We built the budget off of 94%, so we finally are getting there as we're closing out the year. But hopefully what that is a sign that we've overcome a lot of the fears and issues and of course some of it was just flat, a lot of things were going around besides COVID this year. So hopefully this is a good sign that brighter days are ahead. So when we start the next school year, we can definitely get back to that higher percentage rate for attendance.
Yeah, because we had like what you call a trifecta. You had COVID, you had the flu, and you had the RSV, all
Yeah.
three hitting the school at the same time. So it was
It was tough.
tough to get through.
The next report is our student outcomes report, and this month we would like to tell you about our Extreme Summer Quest that we're very excited about. This is our second year, and Ms. Dominguez is going to start off. We have some great presentations and special presenters this evening to share with you what's about to be happening.
I am excited to talk to you tonight about our summer program. Our theme is the Extreme Summer Quest. Last year we did Extreme Adventure, and we focused on science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and math. This year with the Quest, we're going to throw a little bit of history and mystery into the mix of it. So we're working right now on our plans on how we're going to do that. The end showcase musical is going to be super cute. You're going to love it. So make sure you attend that when we send those dates out. Here tonight, though, we have to present to you some information about this from our summer program coordinator, who is Naomi Stevens. Brenda Dotson, the AP for Youth Director, is also partnering with us. That organization partners with us to do this program, and she's going to present something to you. And one of our teachers, Deborah Merrill, is going to show you some of the work that our students do during this program. They're going to start with a short video and then tell you more about it.
Before camp began, our district's top teachers worked tirelessly to create lesson plans using Project Lead the Way and KidSpark curriculum. Teachers were extremely excited about the STEM projects, robotics and coding curriculum, as well as the musical they were implementing after rigorous online training.
Students were excited about the hands-on learning taking place each day. They enjoyed singing karaoke about space in reading class and collaborating when creating backdrops in art for the showcase event they'll be performing in July. Students have worked extremely hard creating and building in their math and technology classes, as well as learning through discovery in their science and engineering classes. Within our PE rotation, students completed daily exercises followed up by engaging team-building games. We invited the community to receive the full Extreme Summer Camp experience on June 28th. The first 50 kids received a Splashway Water Park ticket. Out on the lawn, guests enjoyed outdoor activities and games hosted by AP for Youth. We provided free hot dogs and bottled water to community members, and we had a food truck join us as well. The community explored our art room, which showcased art for our upcoming musical and allowed campers to create an alien puppet with their parents. The Save the Children Foundation donated leveled scholastic books that we were able to give away in the library, and our counselors led families while creating stress balls. The students showcased their robots they built in math and technology. Science classes helped their parents create a model to describe how our lungs work. Let's not forget the karaoke going on in our reading room, as well as engaging reading activities at each table. PE also brought families together while having them participate in fun team building games.
Don't miss our next showcase in July when our campers performed their musical Journey into Outer Space. We want to say thank you to all of our community members, our board members, our staff, our campers, and our APISD administration for attending our first showcase. We can't wait to host our next one on July 29th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Falk Gymnasium. Miss Woods signing off.
This is Steven signing off.
See you there.
This is some of the things that they worked on last year. This one here is a little truck that is built with the younger students. These here are for our pre-K through first grade, and they don't have any mechanisms on them like this one does, because these here are actually for second grade through fifth grade, and what they learn is how to engineer and build different mechanisms. This one's a little more advanced. I wanted you to see how advanced they can really get, because this box here, if you would like to try it yourself, is coded to say welcome when you shake it, and if you press the A button, it says hello. Some of the students learn how to code them with the mate code. You're not gonna be able to see it from where you are, but there's a mate code program that uses blocks, and some of our students learn on their own during the divergent process how to turn the box, actually the SparkMate here, into a calculator. You can turn them into a walkie-talkie. If you have two of them, you can code it and you can talk to each other from different parts of the room or even the next room. We weren't actually able to do them with these boxes. There's an upgraded box that has an antenna, but these they used to make a calculator. They used them to develop their own little game. Have you ever seen the little mochi games? They kind of clip to your backpack. It's a little egg. It's a little hamster. You gotta raise it up and feed it and take care of it. Sometimes it gets grumpy. There's actually a program in Make Code that they learned how to turn this box into a hamster. And it starts with the pre-K just getting their hands on learning how to build. These kits are very easy to assemble and disassemble. These kits require a key. So they're a little more advanced, and they have to be disassembled in a more advanced way too. These keys here are what they would use to pop them apart. My favorite part was the divergent part. So when we all did it together on the convergent and we all followed the same steps and went through the same process on one day, the next day was divergent. They could diverge, go out and explore, come up with their own things to create. Some of our students actually built a donut palace. And I wish I had some pictures to share with you. It was my favorite. It was a box that they built using a kit like this with two different motors. See this one here? It actually has a motor, and this one is just a free spinning gear inside. This one's the motor, and that one just spins. They built a box, and then on top of the box, they built a donut, and one of the circles spun one way, and the other donut spun the opposite direction. And they did that on their own. They did that through learning with the little basic blocks and moved up throughout the year.
You're saying
At
the
the
second
end-
grade level?
Second grade. Yes, ma'am.
Impressive.
It is extremely impressive to watch the second grade mind develop and build their own unique little mechanism or machine. They just
cool.
come up with it. We had tables of 4, that we would have a parts manager, so they were the ones taking the parts out of the box. We would have the engineer who actually built it, and the supervisor. I think the 4th person was more or less an observer, and then on every day they would like rotate their positions so that each student was able to learn the different parts of like the real world when you're out at a power plant or
even if you're working at Walmart or at our school, there are different people with different jobs. So the students got to develop that mind as well. And again, my favorite part was watching them come out and grow and create their own things and learn with just the basic little blocks. And there were some students who this is not their thing, but the art that they would draw, and then something one of their friends would build their design. So they got to get involved with more than one aspect, not just engineering and math, but the art as well. It was a really great experience for me. I learned a lot over the summer working with these students.
That's cool. Thank you, Devereaux. I'm Naomi Stevens. I'm the coordinator this year for the summer program. I know that some of you joined us last year. Thank you so much. That meant so much to us. That meant so much to our teachers to see you. Our teachers are the real heroes. They're the ones in the classrooms just making it happen, you know, in the trenches. And it was so amazing, especially the showcases, just to see the community out and supporting us and the families coming together. And Brenda and I, we worked closely together with AP for Youth, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her program.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so I don't have any fancy music to go with mine. I do apologize. But so we did have a lot of fun. It was a little crazy, a little love, and a whole lot of fun. So this last year we had 144 campers that stayed on after the morning session. So that was for the full day. And we did award 12 scholarships for them, the parents that may not necessarily be able to afford their camp. Coastal Plains did 9 scholarships, and we had 16 employees in 7 classes. We do allow out-of-district campers for our afternoon session because we are aware that we do have other campuses that don't have a program like this. So we did have some after school, or I'm sorry, I read homeschool, from Portland, Ingleside, Rockport. So this was a very big, for me, this was very inspirational because we did have, with our parent quotes, so one of the things that the parents really noticed is that some of the kids did come out and that did help their self-esteem and just being in that interaction with the other students. That is and then of course we had the ones coming home every day saying they had a blast, and some of the kids didn't even make it around the corner because they were so exhausted they were asleep in the car. So, and our field trips in the afternoon, and I know we get to have all the fun time, sorry, but we do. We go Mondays, we went bowling, and we did have Project Turnaround come in, so we went to CM Lanes every Monday. And on Tuesdays was the pool day, and you could probably guarantee that was one of their favorite days. And Wednesdays, we had author Clarissa Hinojosa that's from here in Aransas Pass. She published her book. So she came in every Wednesday to read her stories, and she would dress in character. The kids loved it. She may or may not have been Spider-Man in that picture, just saying. So on Wednesdays and Fridays, we had camp concession. And this basically, at first, when I started this, I didn't get any response except for a couple of the students, the older ones, they really didn't want to participate. But by the end of the camp, what it was you can earn camp cash because we were aware that not everybody had cash for concession. So if you did a good deed, or I even gave a camp cash for kids that said thank you, or you'd walk by and see them sweeping or cleaning a room, you get camp cash. And at the end of the week, our students were able to be the concession for the students. So they ran that part of the concession so that they'd collect their camp cash, and it got very competitive, especially with the cousins there. Wanted to see how much camp cash they could collect off each student. So that was fun. And those right there, I was gonna bring some tonight. They're called cavity kebabs. That's one of their favorite it's candy. It's the candy kebabs, but the parents, they called it cavity kebabs because they were so sweet, which is right there.
Oh, there it is.
But that's what that is about, is doing good deeds get you good treats. And Thursday was Kona Ice Day, and that was sponsored by Aransas Pass Police Department. They came every Thursday. And on Friday, and we did, for making, we also made puppets and connections. We had henna tattoos, rock painting. We did have some STEM activities, and we did clouds in a jar. We like to finish up the day with what they do. We like to finish it up in the afternoons as well. We did archery for the older campers as well. That was one of their favorites as well. And then also on Fridays they went to the movies. And if you haven't heard a whole movie theater sing the song "Where's Something About Bruno," I definitely invite you because it was amazing. Our older kids went skating this year. Unfortunately, we won't get to go skating because we don't have it, but we're gonna find something else for them. So. And then our instructors, and that's very important to me too, because the instructors here, we actually get them from our Aransas Pass High School. We do have a few from the Ingleside High School, but most of them are right here in Aransas Pass, and a lot of them are on that path to become a teacher. So this is a great way for them to start that. And these are just some of our instructors and some of our camp. So anyways, that's where we are with that.
Very good.
Thank you.
It's really a blessing to work with Brenda because we just have a really great relationship and we have the same vision. You know, we're always going back to what's best for our students and what do they need. And this program really carries them over, you know, because students lose some of their what they've learned throughout the year over the summer. But this really keeps their brain engaged, as you could tell with what Devereaux just showed. So as Shelley said, we've changed our theme to Extreme Summer Quest. So that's one of the changes that we have made with our summer program. And I facilitate the summer program in the morning, and Brenda facilitates the summer program in the afternoon, and breakfast and lunch is served every single day. I'm trying to remember those slides. What's on the third slide?
It's from 7:30 to 12:30, and then 12:30 to 5:30 is for me.
Right.
But it's not our kids.
What's the cap of how many are you accepting?
We had over 200 students last year, and 20 and over.
Already enrolled? Wow. Can we hold 225? Very good.
Our staff has stepped up and working,
Oh,
and the
yay, there it
partnership
is.
is huge
Yeah.
in order to do this.
Right.
For sure. So we're starting mid-June throughout the month of July. And today our teachers collaborated together at Falk in the library. Shelley was there, our teachers were there working on curriculum to change it for our new theme, which is really, really awesome. We're super excited about the History and Mystery Tour. And as I said before, APISD, I take the morning session and then Brenda takes the afternoon session, and breakfast and lunch is served every single day, Monday through Friday.
So that is where we also came in as the partnership. We also, as I said, we hire the Aransas Pass students for staffing, and we do provide scholarships as well, which we've just went through that process for our community for them to go through. And then we lend a helping hand to open our heart to our families. We do provide a safe atmosphere for our students. Is this where it can?
Next slide.
Next slide. And leading into that, providing a fun and safe environment. One of the things that I really learned last year was I actually had a counselor come to me, and the students were morning session only, which is free, and they really felt that these two students needed to be in a safe environment, and they weren't going home to a safe environment, and asked would it be okay if they joined you. And it wasn't even a question, it was absolutely just bring them on. We'll figure that part out later, just bring them on. So we kept them all summer, all afternoon. So
And Brenda and I were talking, and there's a quote on the slide previously that these aren't my students, and these aren't your students, they're our students, because, you know, we're just handing them off for the afternoon session. We're not separate, we're one, we're together. Brenda and I are in constant communication about parent contact, medical needs, I mean, you name it, situations like she just named. We just put the kids first. So some improvements that we've made. It was really hard to improve because last summer was excellent. But a few improvements that we wanted to make for this year's summer program is we wanted to have the Dinosaur George exhibit, add that to one of our weeks. We were working on the curriculum today, and we want it to align with our curriculum, whatever our field trips are, and also the portable learning lab, which Brenda is working on. We're hoping to get 2 separate labs, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead and let it play. This just kind of shows you exactly what the portable learning lab offers.
State-of-the-art exploration space where students across the coastal bend collaborate in innovative industry simulations, sparking their interest in local STEM-related jobs.
This experience opens the students' eyes to what's available to them coming out in their future lives.
Critical thinking related to environmental impact, community-based planning strategies, and sustainable project management are all part of the immersive experience.
When I came in, I thought it was really cool. There were a lot of visuals during the activity. It was super fun.
Right now I'm going to college to study electrical engineering, so this actually helped me out a lot.
STEM jobs of the future have yet to be imagined. The Portable Learning Lab empowers students to develop the problem-solving and team-building skills they'll need to succeed in the jobs of tomorrow.
So with that, we actually do get the port lab for 1 week. So we're super excited about that, and I'm gonna check to see if we could do a morning and an afternoon session with them. I believe that's my next one, right? So one of the things that we are adding this year, and I'm super excited about, is our leadership class. So we're gonna have 6th and 7th graders that are coming in to do a leadership course, or a class with us. We're gonna be doing basic first aid, we're doing CPR, we're gonna do litter pickup and community involvement. And basic things too, but we're also gonna work on health and fitness and focus on art. We're gonna have them learn how to do a basic step stool and sand it down. We're not gonna use any equipment, no power tools or anything, put that out there. But we are good. They're gonna learn how to build the step stool, sand it down, and then they're gonna program the top. They're gonna be stenciled into the step stool. So I'm super, super excited, and I already have about 10 to 11 6th and 7th graders that are signed up for that. So, but that's one of the improvements that we're doing this year, because we only go till 5th grade, but so we did open that for 6th and 7th graders. And that's right there. Oh, my soup. Wait, hold on, I have more.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
A question, is late registration still underway, or has it closed?
It's still open at this time.
It's still open?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right.
And if you remember, we had shared with you after summer camp last year that we not only, we always worry about the summer slide, and we wanted to take this camp to the next level so we could start closing those learning gaps that we had seen from COVID. So we did see, our data has shown that it was a time where the students had an amazing time. They had fun and so forth, but it also we had a large number of our students, it didn't just prevent summer slides, some of them actually grew during the summer. So this type of hands-on learning and access is amazing. And then I think that's so exciting, but I think another exciting part is the growth we saw in our staff members and the excitement we've seen that actually trickled over into the classroom throughout this school year. And that was a vision that we had, is we want to see more of this happening every day in our classrooms, that it's not just a summer thing, that this STEM stream type approach can happen every day with hands-on, blended learning, interactive, students taking ownership of their learning. And these ladies that have spoken to you today, they are the leaders in this. They are the ones that have a fire in their belly for it. They're making it happen in the classrooms every day, and we're seeing some amazing things happen. So I'm really excited about what the summer's going to look like and what the future of the classrooms here in Aransas Pass are going to look like as the years go on. Thank you, ladies.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it was interesting. I attended your deal at the end of the year last night. Several board members did, and it was just impressive to see what some of those kids did during the summer. It was really impressive to look at and see what they accomplished and the skills they have and things. So and thinking outside the box, and those type of things. So those are all important things that need to go. But we thank you guys for your time, and all our teachers that volunteer during the summer time frame. We thank them for their time and effort during the summer, because that's important. And so it's a learning not only for the kids, it's for our staff. Like Ms. Cook had said, that I think some of our staff learned some valuable lessons by doing that as well. But we appreciate your time.
Thank you. And then on that note, we're anxiously awaiting. We wrote a grant for the 21st Century Learning Grant, which will take this even to a whole nother level if we're so blessed to receive it. So anytime this month now, we'll get word on it. So hopefully, I didn't jinx us by saying that, that we will be recipients of that, because that will enable us to be able to do the full day free of charge for our students, and that they can have the full access all day during the summer and then after school program too.
This year?
It would start in the fall.
The grant would,
It would start in the fall. And I thank Ms. Dominguez working tirelessly to take all the ideas that were thrown out on the table and put them into a document to be sent in, because there was a lot. Because when we start brainstorming, it's a little dangerous, but very exciting. So we're hopeful that will come to fruition. But I have a strong belief that the results that we're going to see, that even without that grant, I really feel like that's something that we'll be able to pursue through other types of donations and scholarships and so forth from community members and businesses, because I think when they see what's happening and the growth that's occurring, people will want to be involved. So either way, it'll happen, but it sure would be nice to get that grant here in a couple of weeks.
Next is calendar of upcoming events.
So you notice we do spend a lot of time, especially right now, talking to you about the academic side, and I think that's so important, and where the majority of our board meetings should be spent is you hearing about, because I think that gets you excited and helps you understand when you're making decisions what our focus needs to be. On our calendar of events, this is, of course, the last month. There is a lot going on, so I will not read all of it, but I do want to point out a couple of things to make sure you know. The Torch Awards are tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. at AC Blunt Cafeteria. That's always a wonderful event, so mark your calendars on that. Wednesday morning at 8:30 a.m. I put a flyer at your place. We are having our JET grant announcement where we've talked about this, and we're already receiving our equipment and so forth. Our $1.4 million worth of equipment is slowly starting to come in, but we're going to have a JET grant announcement that will be happening so that any of our community members that want to come and hear about this and take a little tour of phase 1 and kind of see what's happening and where we're going, that's an opportunity. Of course, the send-off is also that day at 1:30 for Lexi over at the high school. Then you see a few other things coming. AC Blunt's having a great GT showcase, 5:30 to 7 on May 12th. Got a spring band concert at AC Blunt, 6 p.m. on May 16th. And Charlie Marshall's having a big music concert on May 24th at the Civic Center, 6:15 p.m. I believe that's still correct. And then you see a lot of other things all splattered through there. So if you have time, join us. This is that fun time of year where all the hard work comes to a culmination, and we get to celebrate with our students and our staff. You have any questions?
We did get a notice for Charlie Marshall's 5th grade live science museum on the 16th.
It is something new that Ms. Casey is ahead of, and so we're very excited. It's kind of like a wax museum.
Okay.
And so I asked her to email Blaze, and if y'all are able to make it, we would love to have you. And we'll try to remember to send reminders out to you, because it'll be almost daily.
It's intriguing anyway.
Yes,
Like,
right?
What is this?
What is that? Something new?
The attention.
They're always thinking of something new. And then the final piece on the superintendent's report was, of course, graduation, the big final event coming up. And Mr. Mullinex wanted to talk about kind of perhaps changing up a little bit about how the diplomas are handed out. So, Mr. Molinex, I'll turn that over to you.
Okay, yeah, I come up, instead of, usually in the past, since I've been on the board, we've always just had the board president, and that's somebody's, a member of the graduating class requested a board member to present them their diplomas, that you can step up and do that. But I've also seen other districts where they kind of spread it throughout the board, so that each of you have an opportunity, even though, you still come up and present it to your person that requests you to present them the diplomas, but also to swap out so that, that one person's just not up there for 95% of the time in that. So it gives you the opportunity to present the diplomas to each one of the students. So if you guys don't agree with that and don't, then Ms. Cook's going to set up a schedule so we go through, the first 15 or so that I'll take, and then the next 15 that the vice president will take, and then our secretary, Adele, will be there because this will be our final act as on the board. So it's the last performance, I guess. So, but and the other board members that are not here, that we give them the opportunity, and they'll be in the process. So we'll spread it out a little bit, so each of you have an opportunity to go congratulate our students as they walk across the stage. If you guys agree with that, then we'll make it happen. But it may be kind of kind of plan as you do it type thing up there. 'Cause we just have to see it because we've never done it before. But at least since I've been here, I don't remember if you ever did that before.
No,
Dave, you've been here for forever.
No,
So,
never.
yeah.
It's always been the president.
Yeah,
If anybody else wanted to give
but
one,
again, it's just,
sure.
so just, we just have the process, so we just kind of line up and just kind of come through, and we come up to my last one, and the guy behind me will just kind of flow through just like we do when we do for the ones that you present, so we just kind of move it that way. If you guys want to do that, it's up to you. You guys amenable with that? Okay,
Don't matter to
good.
me.
Good. So,
Yeah, we'll just we'll take the list of the names as they're going through, and we'll divide it out, and we'll make sure where you're going to change, so you'll kind of be behind and kind of flow up there.
Yeah.
So we'll try to work it out where it's real simple and just kind of
Yeah.
keep it flowing. Of course, you'll still have the option if it's a special presentation you wish to give, then just let us know, and we'll make sure that you are up there. If you know you have a special student or students that you really would like to hand theirs to them, let us know. Maybe they'll be we'll just put you with that group, so that we'll just, if it works out, we'll try. But we'll try it and see
if
what
not,
it
you'll
looks
have
like.
opportunity, because, like I said, you just come up and tap the person on the shoulders, giving them out, and they'll step aside, and you give yours, and then he'll step back in and continue on, so,
Okay.
Will we get a little guidance on our wardrobe so that it's cohesive for their pictures, since we'll be in their shot when they're getting their diploma?
Well, what has been our guidance before? I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever been real specific, but
most of the men wear a suit and a tie, and the women wear a business, type suit that they have,
dress.
something,
I just don't want to show up in a crazy color.
If you have purple, purple's hard to find.
So hard to find purple.
I think normally it's been
that's
purple or
normally
black.
To find in a dress, at least.
Yeah, in a dress.
That's normally what we try to do, have some kind of purple.
Some type
Yeah.
of purple or black.
Kind of represent the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going shopping.
I'm always looking for purple shirts. Got so many different kinds of.
And that's all for the superintendent's report. That was a lot of good stuff tonight.
Next is financial report. Ms. Stansberry, you have anything to add to the financial report?
No, they're all standard reports. If y'all have a question, I'd try to answer.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on the accounts payable? You have any questions on the budget and status investment?
I do.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Under the state revenue, is there a projected time of when the remaining balance, that we can anticipate the remaining balance?
Actually, those numbers are starting to come in. TEA just updated this past month our actual numbers that they got from our in October, the snapshot date, And then all the attendance reports that's been coming in, they've been updating that, and it definitely shows what they're estimating that they will owe us. So I can make a reference to that on the next report
Okay.
and bring y'all up to speed on that.
Thank you.
Any questions on tax collection? FEMA projects?
Yes.
Go ahead, Ms. Butler.
Okay, let me pull that one up. So on the FEMA report, let's see here. There's a notation that April 30th, let me see, I believe it's page 2 of that report. Mine's a little slow. There it goes. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, so. Oh, so you did get an update. I guess there was a site visit.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to know, where does that leave us as a district as far as, we had the bus barn, we had the breaking out of the baseball, softball field. We had an appeal underway, so if you can catch us up on those.
We're still gathering information, sorting it out. I've located some more reports that might help me decipher what they're asking. The site visit that I was referring to this time, I'll give you a little history. When we had an IT building, that it was a brick building that back when I was in school, it was an English building. And over the years it had been turned into our IT building with all their electronic equipment. When Hurricane Harvey came through, the wind lifted the roof, and when it did, it compromised the walls structure, and FEMA came in, created it as a project to totally rebuild the building, restore it, maybe that's the better word. But when the engineers came out, they said it's really not safe enough to try to repair.
Okay.
And cost effective, they recommend that we just demolish it. So at that point, we had to get with FEMA and tell them all this. Well, then they'd already paid us $4,000 towards the restoration of the IT building. That was net of insurance. So when they had reconsidered, they needed to go back and make it as an alternative project. And my request was, instead of us refunding the money, we're rebuilding Compton Hall and renovating it to make it our new IT spot. We just use that $4,000 and apply it to that and combine it. So basically what the site visit was that we got approved for the alternate project.
Okay.
They came to make sure we really did demolish the old building, and they wanted to see the blank
Slab.
Flattened, nothing there?
They
Okay.
took pictures of the blank land, and we're good to go on that. So we're not going to get any more money for it, but they're closing each project and making sure that all the I's are dotted. They're very, very, very thorough, and they are very much taking their time. But I don't expect to hear anything more about the old IT building. The bus barn,
That's the one that was under appeal, right?
well, I'm
They paid us a portion?
asking for them to revisit it.
Okay.
Yes. And then the baseball, softball field, I've explained that I'm starting from scratch. They're allowing us actually to combine everything into one project and then divvy it out 50-50 or until I can make the numbers match what they have been looking at.
Okay. And, this is important. It's, for instance, the bus barn, we're still waiting on a decision on $98,000.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically.
think about what we can do with $98,000.
Yeah.
So, just so that we don't lose sight, I think we need to,
Oh, no.
if there's anything that you need as far as convincing them that, yes, we did endure this. And yes, we do intend to move forward or rebuild, whatever is required, because I know some of this is out of your hands, but if there's anything that we can do as a board to further affirm the need for our district to get these reimbursements as quickly as possible, just let us know, because
Well, definitely, if there's something that I can think of that y'all can do, holler, shake, rattle, or roll, I'll definitely say something.
okay. All right.
Next is the ESSER expenditure report. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Next is item 8, consent agenda. First thing on the consent agenda, item 8A, is consider and approve the minutes of the April 10th, 2023 regular board meeting and the April 19th, 2023 special board meetings. Do anybody have any questions or comments or corrections on those?
On the April 10th meeting, that discussion that we had about future agenda items, and I requested us considering a preliminary budget at the beginning of the summer. And so I think just the way it was summarized, I didn't want to come across as that I was requesting 3 preliminary budgets in addition to the 3 preliminary budget workshops in addition to the August workshop. So maybe we can just, because it says I asked for June, July, and August. That would mean we would have 4 workshops altogether. Yes, so I don't mind us having 3 or having monthly budget workshops like that until we get to the August.
June, July, or August?
And I think in continuing that conversation, Mrs. Cookie mentioned June and July, so maybe we'll end up with 2. Because I know trying to get everybody's schedules coordinated to.
Changing the or, it's maybe or.
Maybe or, okay, yes.
June, July, or August, whatever was needed.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay.
So I'm just changing that.
And or, yes.
So we won't be changing the minutes because that, of course, was made during the minutes of the meeting, but we're just going to change your request to do it some other time. We wouldn't have, is that?
You can
okay.
change the minutes, it's probably easier to change the
Yeah.
minutes.
Approve it with the changes as noted.
Okay.
I understand that's a lot to try to do 4 or 5.
Well, they got to prepare
In
for
one
us.
summer.
But they got to do it as well, prepare for us to present it to us. So that gives, it gives
Exactly,
them
that's why I
extra work
wanted
on
to
top
make
of
that
what they got to do
clarification.
already. See where we at here. Oh, here we are. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve it as amended,
Okay,
as the minutes are amended.
motion made by Ms. Butler. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Diastis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes got it. Next, going on to item 9, the action agenda. Item 9A, consider and approve agreement with the University of Texas Medical Branch for pediatric and adolescent behavior science service via telecom. Ms. Cook.
Yes, this was a opportunity that actually, during COVID, we had access to, and they've, Ms. Vargas has been working with them to bring this back around for our students. So this agreement is with the University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston for telemedicine assistance, which is mental health access for our families, our students. And you see I'm not going to try to read all of that out loud to you, but you had an opportunity to look through what the memorandum or the agreement provides. This is a 3-year agreement, which is just a great access for us to be able to have this. So we had several students that really benefited from this when we had it before, so we wanted to be able to have this access again. So this fits into our socio-emotional wellness plan to offer something like this. So we just need your you to approve it so we can move forward.
Well, the mental health has been in the news lately for all the other things going on. I think it's important to provide whatever assets we can to help our students, navigate through that process, especially the younger ages and stuff. So, but anybody have any questions or comments on that?
And what is, not a question, just a comment. What is really wonderful about this is that it's an opportunity for folks to get access that maybe they do not have. And in another way, not having to drive and find a provider and the time and schedule, they can just do it.
Yes.
It's a tele-appointment, so.
Now, I got a question real fast. I just thought, when they do the teleconferencing, is that during school period, or just school hours? Or they have the access to do it after, during weekends or
Well,
whatever?
they set up the times, and it just varies
So
depending on the needs of
parents or
the
the
student,
people
the
doing it would
parents,
set up a
and it's all
time that they're
worked
gonna
with the
schedule it,
parents,
so-
of course, yes.
Okay.
And they do the legwork if they need, if there's a student who needs continuing or more ongoing type of care, I believe they'll do the referral, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
So it provides our access to students.
Mhm.
Good. Any other questions or comments? Okay, do I have a motion to consider and approve the agreement between the University of Texas Medical Branch for Pediatric and Adolescent Behavior Science via telemedicine?
So move.
Motion made by Ms. Diossis, second by Ms. Butler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes got it. Next is item B, consider and approve the memorandum of understanding between the Aransas Pass Independent School District, City of Aransas Pass Chamber of Commerce to contract the services of a communication and public relations specialist as a synergistic partner to enhance and promote the success of each. Anybody you had a chance to look at that, talk about it? Any questions or comments about? I just look what he's done, for the school in the last just this year. All the things he's done, that's been on Facebook and all the things he's been doing out there. Putting our kids out and what the successes they're having in the classrooms or on the athletic fields, and that. It's a valuable asset to us, I think, for the district to provide that out there for them. That we wouldn't be able to afford strictly by ourselves. Larger districts have a PR department, and we're not that large where we can afford to have one of those full time. But this gives the opportunity, in conjunction with the chamber and the city, to provide that service for our district and our community and our kids.
Well, the vision was, 3 years ago now, to how do we tell our story? How do we put the good things out there that are going on in our district? There were some of us trying diligently to do the best we could with our time that we had, basically Blaze and I, and then we would ask the principals to try to push stuff out on Facebook, find somebody on your campus, and sometimes that would get lost in all the other things we were trying to do. So to have a dedicated person that's really their key focus is to tell our story, and telling the story in a holistic manner of the whole broad spectrum, the academics along with the athletics. But it's not just about the athletics. You see the great things we've heard about the athletics. We want to tell every sport about everything, but we really want to get our academic story out also, so they see that we have a great athletic program, but we also have great teachers. We have great things going on in the classroom. This has been tremendous for us because the 5 years that I have been here, when I know personally when I arrived, the conversations that I would personally be involved in about our district were not always favorable. And so we as a team have worked diligently to ensure that they find out the truth and not just continue to share what they think they know, because that's old saying, if you don't tell your story, so they will make one up. And in my opinion, that's what was happening. They were just making up what they thought Aransas Pass was about, what they thought our students were about, our teachers, and there's always been such amazing things going on here. And so I think as a team, we've worked really hard to push the story out there. And now it's not always going, you're always going to have naysayers. You're always going to have things that we need to work on and we need to do better. But I do know that now when I'm out there, I do hear people say, what are y'all doing over there? What's going on? That's a great thing you have. Tell me more about this blended learning. So that we're getting a lot of traction. We're actually having the news stations actually come over here. We just had a story, last week. Chris Six picked us up. And that was because of our PR specialist, Mr. Rowland, coming in, and he has some connections that some of us didn't have because I was reaching out to them, but they weren't coming out here. So having those connections, networking, pushing out, finding those stories and putting them out there has been tremendous for us. And so I think this is so important. And then to be able to do it in partnership, because as Mr. Millenek said, we would not be able to afford this position on its own, but to be able to share and have a third of the time dedicated to helping push out our story while we continue to do our best with that too, as working together, I think it has made a tremendous difference. I hope you've seen that. I hope you're hearing that. I think moving forward, I think to continue doing this is nothing but beneficial to us on many, many fronts.
I personally, see a lot more about what our students are doing in the classrooms that I wasn't aware of, even, until he came on board and started doing it. That, you hear about this, but you don't see it. When you actually see it in action, it makes a big impression on you to actually see it actually happening and people actually doing and those type of things and that. But it's been impressive to me to see some of the stuff that's in our classrooms that's presented and what our students and our staff's doing. So.
And you're going to see more. We've already been brainstorming. We always evaluate at the end of the year, where are we, what worked, what didn't work, what do we need to see more of. And in our brainstorming session, one of the ideas that he's wanting to do is to have a monthly focus on a student and on a teacher, because we have some amazing individuals, and so to really focus on, like Ms. McCutcheon for one, that would have been a great story, 44 years in the district, what all have you done? So to really, I think that lifts them up, builds good morale, celebrates the successes that are going on. So we're trying to add more layers on for this next year to how do we do more to really push out our story.
But this item before us tonight is not that particular contract, because we already did that a few months ago. This is the partnership piece of it, right? The MOU?
We don't approve his contract. This is as a board, you approve the memorandum of understanding for our ability to have this, and then the contract is what I negotiate as part of our budget process, and it'll be part of the budget.
Right, but it was on the agenda a few months ago. You let us know about the contract. I remember that being an because this is not specific to him. This is the partnership for the three entities coming together, because we do more than just we engage. You have meetings, we do other events together. This is not just for Mr. Rodriguez, correct? This MOU?
This is the memorandum of understanding for us to partner with them to have him as our PR specialist. No, this is about him, yes.
Specifically.
It's specifically about him.
He's our PR specialist.
Because
The position.
because the
whether it's
chamber and
him
the
or
city will
someone
have
else,
to,
yes.
okay, the MOU as well. Every year we go through this, right?
Well, this is for 2 years, ends on August, this one's August 31st for 2025. This would be a 2-year MOU, and of course it has in there, we can abort this memorandum of understanding with written notice and so forth. You see the terms.
Yeah.
But no, this is the memorandum of understanding, because as a board of trustees, you approve in order for me to have a partnership with other entities, you as a board must approve that. So that's what this is for that PR specialist. Then the contract and all of that, I do that as the superintendent. I work on the contract with the three entities to ensure that whatever we're paying fits our salary scales, it fits our budget, and then that's built into the budget.
And
we
approved some contracts last.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Didn't we have his
but
contract on the
it's just a
agenda?
contract overall for all the contracts.
No, you don't approve his contract,
Joint.
because you are approving because his contract is by three entities. The entities, the board approves.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to confuse.
Yeah.
Not the word contract. we approved the payment for our portion of the contract. Our third, didn't we?
No?
We had this discussion about him, because I remember us complimenting him.
Discussing whether we,
We
the
complimented
reference
him.
was Some were
Uh-huh.
complimenting, some were a little concerned.
Right.
But I don't think we voted on anything. We were looking at a video or something and just making comments. I don't think it was a vote.
No, I think it was more of
No, I
a
think it was
comment.
just
a
talking
discussion.
about-
A vote. We don't vote for that. We don't, we.
It was
Okay,
a-
I'll have to double check and see what it was.
We
There
did
was,
reference him and our opinions of how we thought he was doing well or not. 'Cause it wasn't an overall opinion.
well, I won't hold us up, but there was, we discussed his contract and the payment specifically. The MOU doesn't talk about any dollars. It doesn't talk about our third, the amount of that.
Because that's
It just talks
part-
about the partnership and the relationship, and out of the MOU comes the contract.
Position. It's the
Yes, but
position.
you're approving me to enter into agreement with them so
Mm-hmm.
that I can then, as the superintendent, that I can work on the contract and initiate that. And the money, what you will eventually approve again is part of a budget is any of those contracts. So this is like a contracted service that's a part of our budget process, but you don't approve his contract. And that's
Right, because it's
APISD.
the three
We-
entities, but didn't we have an agenda item on the payment, the APISD third for that contract? We had something.
Well, I mean, if you want to table this, we can go back and we can get the information, but ultimately, I need to have a.
We
I
had
need
ayes
you-
and a nay.
And a what?
We had ayes,
Some ayes and a nay.
and there was a nay.
An
So we
ayes
voted
and
on
a-
something regarding this, and that's why I just wanted clarification before, because I thought we had already addressed that a few months ago, and that this MOU is the overall partnership.
I know we verbalized it, Juanice, I just can't not remember if we
Yeah.
actually were voting or we were just all talking through points. I honestly don't recall a dollar
Well,
ever having to discuss a dollar sign.
And
Since
I'm
this is
almost
not
thinking
until
this might-
August,
yeah.
then I would like to
Someone may
table
have
to get
asked
that.
how much it was to see if they felt it was worth it.
I think this may have been a closed session conversation that potentially was
Think so?
occurred.
I remember sitting here.
Yeah.
No, we were out here.
They don't approve. Yeah, we already checked with TASB. But anyway, if you do not feel comfortable with it, we can, we need to go back and watch the videos, see what's the missing piece. We can bring it back in June.
I have a question in regards to the MOU. Does his position include the management of our social media accounts? Or just the APISD social media account?
He will post on our APISD accounts, but not all of our accounts.
Okay. Are we considering making that cohesive? Because we have some campuses that are very active, which is fabulous, but we have others that are not. And if we're not going to consider a marketing position so that that's cohesive, that might be something that
Well,
we're interested in.
on that
in
note,
the
it's something we can look into, but again, remember, we're only paying a third of his time. So, and I think that's been some misconceptions by some in the community, thinking that he should do more on certain things. But we have to remember, he's only a third of his time is with us, is dedicated to to APISD. So ensuring that in that third of that time that he is able to manage whatever it may look like. I mean, that's a good point we could look at and see if that's something we could build into. But I would really like to talk to my admin team about this, because I think there's pros and cons to that. But we can definitely look at that. So, I mean, if y'all have other concerns or questions you want to look at, we can try to work on this before the next board meeting and bring you answer this question get some information on that question and bring it back to you.
Okay.
And please understand for the record, I'm in favor of the partnership continuing, the alliance. I just want to make sure what it is that we're taking action on with the MOU. And you're saying that we don't vote on the payment, it's just part of the budget process. But I know we sat here and had a conversation and voted on something in regard to this position.
Yeah,
That
but
is-
all we're doing now is just saying that we're going to renew the MOU between all three entities to continue to contract them.
That's the part that I want to make sure that we're clear what we're doing or that we're not doing.
All right, well, let us
That's
do
clear.
some research on it, just because it sounds like it's, I don't know, really know what you're, what
I'll have
was
to go back
heard,
and see
so
what
let us-
month it was on our
I have to
agenda.
look too. I vaguely remember, discussion about that, but I don't remember if it was in closed session or open session. But I have to look over my
It's
notes.
not an
and-
employee of the district, so it wouldn't have
No,
been.
we can table this,
Yes.
and we're going to have a, you get an answer, and we can have we're going to have another special meeting to canvass. Can we do that?
We could just do
Who's
this
my
in- we can
election
do this
advice?
in June.
Yeah, can we do it?
Yeah.
Well, we could do it during the canvass of the votes. Can we do it then, or just have to do canvass of the votes? Can we do anything else during that time when we do the canvass?
You don't have to have a quorum. You'd have to have a quorum if you're gonna vote.
And then, but you don't have to have a quorum present to do a canvass of the vote.
You're canvassing like early in the morning, right?
Okay.
Two or three people.
So so you may not have a quorum. Is that
won't
what you're
have a
saying?
quorum if
So.
you're gonna make it a special. They can wait till June, she said.
We'll bring it back.
Okay. Okay, table that to June.
Do you need a
Next,
motion to table?
Do you have a motion to table the contract discussion for the MOU between Aransas Pass ISD, the City of Aransas Pass, and the Chamber of Commerce?
So move.
Motion made by Ms. Butler. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Recker. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion's tabled for. Next is consider and approve the dispository contract extension. Mrs. Stansberry.
We just are ending our, could get confusing, our first term after we went out to bid. Our current contract for depository is for the 21 to 23 school year. The legislation has allowed us now, they've increased the number of times we can have 2-year extensions. Several years in the past, we were allowed to have our initial contract and then a 2-year extension. Then they added a second 2-year extension. Now they're allowing us to actually go up to 3 2-year extensions. So what I'm asking for is our initial term is coming to an end, and we need to extend our contract for the first biennium extension. Or maybe does that make sense?
Extending it for the first time.
Yeah.
Right,
We're
you get to do
renewing
3
it for the first time, and one thing this hinges on is that the school and the bank are in agreement that the terms will remain the same. And when I talk to the bank, they don't see themselves adding anything to our contract as far as fees. They've been waiving our fees. We pay nothing to use their bank services, which is wonderful because that's not always been the case with some of our depositories. Like an NSF, of course, we don't have those, but an NSF check on something we would deposit, other banks would charge us a chargeback, but they don't charge us to stop payments, anything regarding bank fees. They do not charge us. So I definitely recommend that we renew with them again.
Yeah, questions or comments? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the district depository contract extension for Prosperity Bank for 2023-2025 biennium as recommended by administration?
So moved.
Motion made by Ms. Diosas. Do I hear a second? Second by Mr. Rector. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Next is item number 10, discussion. Anything for future meetings? And again, we got to set a date for canvassing. Do we have to do that now? Can we just, since we don't need a quorum? I mean, do we have a number of requirements we have to do for that?
We need 3 members to be present for a canvassing.
Okay. Well, David and I are available any day, right, David?
That too.
That's team right there.
What day are you considering, or dates and time?
What day's good for you?
It has to be, it can't be sooner than the 3rd day, which would be tomorrow, and not later than the 11th day. And
This
you
would be the
would-
16th. I think I saw on the 10th and 16th, that window of opportunity somewhere for canvassing the votes of May. So we gotta do it pretty fast, so.
And it won't take long.
No, all we do is.
I can probably do it. Let me
I'm
just
sorry.
double check my
I'm
calendar.
overstepping.
We have to post it right in that, in the time and stuff, so if somebody public wants to be up here and do that, then we'll just, sit up here and we'll just, do what we need to do, and it didn't take very long at all.
Okay, 3 days.
If you can do
You
it
wanna do it
Friday, I can
Friday?
do it Friday.
We could do it,
If you can do it
Adele be
Friday.
here, Adele could be here this Friday, so.
Because if you have to post for 3 days, then the earliest we could do it is
I'm available. I'm
Tuesday,
off
Wednesday,
Friday.
Thursday.
and Friday would, that would be good.
Is Terry available? Does he have to be here?
No.
No?
I didn't hear.
You got what
Just-
Friday?
It won't take long.
No, it won't take very long.
This
I'm available all day, other than the GT showcase at 5:30 to 7 p.m. on AC Blunt. That's the only thing I got, that's at nighttime, so anything during the day.
I'm available.
9 o'clock after school starts?
I'm available Friday as well.
I'm available Friday as well.
Oh,
You got
we
a
can
whole
have
crew-
a, have a
you got a whole
quorum,
crew?
man, that'd be first.
And I can take it.
Y'all didn't have to show up.
Day?
So 9 a.m. on Friday, good for everybody?
That
Okay.
works.
I'll take the day off. I've been to many of them.
Turning over new leaves.
Let you all get exposed.
Well, yeah, we can do it here.
Bunch.
How's that work, I mean, how's that work with administration's schedule? I mean, I'm not sure what you got going that day. You guys may have something out there that may prevent us with that time period on
It's
Friday.
the school traffic out of the way, but
If y'all can be here, it can happen as far as.
I mean, your schedule, it's just, we're
You're
pretty
here
much,
then? or
here.
you're off at y'all's main.
Um,
I think last time we did it in a boardroom.
For a public meeting, if you're gonna advertise it, would it be where we normally have the public meeting?
So let's just do it here at 9
Okay.
a.m. on Friday.
So you got enough.
You needed 3 and you got.
And we got a whole quorum.
Fab
Good.
five.
Anybody else have any future topic meeting, agenda items to put on the,
And I do know that the whole discussion about the workshops for Team of 8 and all of that was brought up, are getting all that information, and that will be brought to you at the June board meeting when the new board members our new board member is on.
and I think, from reading our minutes, that I think Ms. Butler requested that we have try to work in June to do the Team of 8 planning for that, but it may be too soon because we won't have the board on time to get their time. So we have to wait till July. I think if I look at the
That's
minutes
why we're
correctly.
we're gonna bring all that information to you at the June board meeting, so when you have the new board seated, sworn in, then you can have that
pick a date.
conversation. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know that we haven't forgotten that request, we have it all together, but once again, until you have.
Yeah, but I think Ms. Butler
seated.
requested sometime in June to do it.
Especially
So
since
just,
it's a
so
team
you
of
won't be able to
8,
meet your
yeah.
request.
Yeah.
We'll do it sometime in July when it's the first time we get available to do it, so.
But we'll have dates and so forth.
Or end of July. Just whatever works out for everybody's schedule.
Will we be getting an update on the technology plan? I know we didn't do one in 2020, I believe was the next date, but that was COVID year. But they're for 3 years regardless, so we would have been due for one this year. I'm just concerned a little bit as we go into budgeting, since we have all this new technology that we've received with the Chromebooks and all of the.
You're
we have
talking about a replacement plan?
Our replacement plan. I know we have a technology plan online, and I haven't seen it updated since 2020. So, I just want to make sure that we're putting the money aside in our budget to keep our tech up to date. We've got smart boards now and Chromebooks galore and lots of new systems. So I just want to make sure we have.
Yeah, well, I'll have to check on the technology plan that you're mentioning, but as far as the replacement plan for that, yes, that is a part of the budget process.
Perfect.
And part of our budget process is also going to be for any type of vehicles, like, I don't know what our bus status is,
Yes,
that
we're
type of
looking at
stuff.
all of that, will all be part. That's why, our proposal is going to be, actually to have a budget workshop in June, another budget workshop in July. So you may end up having June, July, and August, because there are a lot of things we need to talk to you about. So no, we are very much aware, very much in the big middle of it, and you will hear more than you probably want to hear. But there's going to have to be some big decisions made, because these are high dollar items, and we've got to get on a good rotation. So the team is all working on that.
Yep, a lot of money. So
Yeah,
you gotta-
well, the salary savings can only go so far. Or-
Any other topics anybody wants to bring up?
I
Okay,
have one question. Oh, never mind. Sorry. I answered my own question.
okay, time is now 9:06 p.m. We adjourn this open session, convene an executive session as authorized by Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code 551.001, concerning any and all purposes permitted by the Act. 551.074, discussion of personnel, new hire DOI teacher at Falk, contract recommendations, teachers, resignations, and information on new hires. I will let you.
I expected it to get really cold in here.
Got the mic, got it back on, okay. Everybody ready? Okay. Time is now 10:34 p.m. We reconvene in open session to act on any item requiring action from closed session. First item is we're going to table action item 12A. Next is
So move.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, next is approve the local teaching certification for utilizing District of Innovation option for Samantha Jasko at Falk Elementary. Any discussion, comments on that? Anybody make a motion?
So move.
Motion made by Ms. Hill. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Diostas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion's approved. Next is to approve the contract recommendations as discussed in the executive session. Does anybody have questions or comments on that? Do you have a motion to approve the contract recommendation as discussed in the executive session?
So move.
Motion made by Mr. Rector. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Next is to talk about to approve the resignations as discussed in the executive session.
So move.
Motion made by Mrs. Butler. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The time is now 10:36, and with no other further business before the board, I close this meeting.